Textually, I know what was going on in the world at the time. There were a couple of big mass shootings in our country. So I wanted a text that would sort of invite the listener to think about what a world might look like without weapons, without violence, and what it would look like to lay those things down. But I also wanted to think about laying down our judgments, not just weapons. So I wanted to invite people to think about a world not only without weapons and violence, but also without judgments and more healthy ways of being in community. Peace and compassion and grace and empathy. Sometimes in music you want a really sweeping melody. This piece is not a sweeping melody, especially at first, because I wanted there to be a hesitancy to sort of a vulnerability in the way that the melody was structured. The first line, what if instead of more violence, with actual rests in between, so that the listener is kind of leaning in and what are they trying to communicate to me? And a little bit of hesitancy that they sense in the singing. And that sort of follows it throughout. And there's these big pauses meant to represent this uncertainty of what kind of community we will create in the end. So I wrote it 8 years ago, sort of based on a few specific experiences of violence. And then whenever it's sung and performed, I will get some lovely emails from people who talked about how it has moved them and it has helped them sort of express their frustration with the way things are and their hope for the way things might be. And they assumed that I have just recently written it because of something going on in the world. People have assumed that this piece was written in response to that. So it's just really, really fortunate that the piece is able to speak to so many events that happen in the world so that people can find handles and it can help them sort of navigate a little bit and give them some jumping off points for conversation to navigate the tricky things that the world throws at us.